Well, hey, thanks so much for taking the time to talk about the film. Your documentary is a fascinating exploration of the legacy of Child's Play and Chucky in particular, which I'll share a really funny story, I think, about Chucky soon. But what led to this project for you?
This originated as a short film that I did in film school at FSU, Florida State University. I had a semester where they taught documentaries. It's one of the few film schools that, I don't know if they're still doing it, but taught documentary. And I begrudgingly took all the classes that I had to. And then I watched a documentary called Stories We Tell, and I was way sucked into it, and I loved that it was something that was personal to the filmmaker, that the filmmaker was involved. It just created another level to the documentary that kept me interested as somebody who originally didn't watch that many documentaries. So I knew I wanted to do my project on something personal. Originally, I was thinking of doing it on my dad and growing up with an SFX artist of a dad, but since our running time was 7 minutes, that's a little too broad. Right. So something that was more specific in his career that has lasted my entire lifetime is Chucky. And so I did a short film called The Dollhouse then, and it ended up opening for Cult of Chucky. The timing was kismet. It opened for all of Cult of Chucky's premieres, and the reception from the audience was so positive. I had so much footage. I was like, this deserves a feature. All of these people put in so much work to this franchise. There needs to be somebody to like dive deeper into everybody's stories.
That's excellent. And the personal touch is definitely obvious throughout this entire film. Documentaries in and of themselves are so fascinating to me. I'm the person at the film festivals when I'm covering them that goes straight for the documentaries before anything else, because there's always just such gems to learn from there. Chucky was really fascinating for me growing up. I have this memory of going to the video store with my dad, and I had to have only been 7 or 8 because of where this video store was. Yeah. And he would let me choose anything. And I remember choosing Child's Play and watching Child's Play. And to this day, I'm like, what was he thinking? Why was he letting me watch that at the time?
That's so funny.
Yeah. And to this day, I still like get a little creeped out if my toes are over the edge of the bed, thinking like Chucky's going to get me or something. But
oh, that's funny.
It's terrifying, Kyra, is what it is. But, you know, you've spoken about growing up with Chucky before. What's your earliest memory of the doll?
One where I actually remember it, because my parents tell me a lot of stories, but I'm like, I don't remember that. I remember him being at my birthday parties. Like, I'm an October baby, and so all of my birthday parties growing up were Halloween, basically Halloween parties. And I remember one, I don't know if this is my earliest memory, but it's the one that I remember vividly. We would set up a maze in my parents' like living room, like for all the kids to go through. We had these like play tunnel things. Okay. And my dad would like bring creepy things home from work, and one of which was Chucky was always out every Halloween, but he would be sitting around a corner in the maze, and it would just freak out all my friends, and they'd be terrified, and I thought it was funny.
I would not return to a birthday party for you, Kyra, at that point if that was going to keep happening.
That's understandable. I get it.
There's a really fascinating exchange in this movie when you're talking with the voice of Chucky, Brad, and his daughter Fiona. Is there a kinship there between you and Fiona due to similar relationships with the franchise through your fathers growing up?
Yeah, definitely. Like in the interview, I felt that, and I hold the same sentiments. It's not like Fiona and I talk all the time or anything like that, because she's also off on an amazing acting career as well. But yeah, I felt that there were so many things that I didn't realize. Like Fiona and I were around the same age when both of our dads, although 20 years apart or however many years, both started playing Chucky around when we were around the same age. Yeah. And similar experiences, like Fiona running out from the ADR booth because Brad was doing the voiceover for the first scene. That scene in the first movie where he gets burned alive is very similar to my story of me seeing the dolls for the first time and locking myself in my room and being late to preschool and things like that. And then just her and her dad's relationship in terms of like, there's this line that Brad says of Fiona used to call him more to work through auditions or something like that. And then, being a big help. And now she's like got her feet and doesn't need his help as much anymore. And now that I'm kind of actually through this movie, starting in the industry, because I think Fiona's like 10 years older than me, or it's the same thing of like, I'm always asking my dad opinions on how to do, sort of gotten my footing. It feels very mirrored for Brad and Fiona, and it's a really cool thing.
That's excellent. Yeah. Throughout all of your conversations, the interviews, the research, what most surprised you about putting the film together?
Oh God, how hard it was gonna be. Not just kidding. Is that an answer? That like, no matter when the last time somebody was in a Chucky movie, like they still have so much love for it. Like Billy Boyd is so like stoked on, well, now it's revealed. At the time it wasn't happening, like it hadn't happened yet. He hadn't came back for the TV series yet, even though it's just a bit of voice work on the show. It's just like he still had so much like love for a franchise that he was just in a movie for. And like, Alex Vincent had so much love for the first two movies, and of course now he and Christina Elise are back, but same, like those moments were so pivotal in everybody's just life as a human being because of like the wonderful on-set environment and family aspect. So it was surprising to hear, no matter where somebody came in and how long it had been in between, it was still like at the forefront of their lives.
Yeah. The Chucky alumni.
Yes.
Well, you mentioned the TV show. We've seen a lot of Chucky in recent years, whether that's the sequels, the reboot, the TV show. What are your hopes for the character moving forward?
Ooh, well, Don's doing definitely new stuff that wasn't possible back in the 80s, but and just taking it to new places. I think he's also exploring a lot of themes that are personal to him, which is really awesome, that it's like almost become expensive therapy in a way. And we love that. That's what everybody says about movie making, that it's the most expensive therapy. But as far as Chucky himself, I honestly hope that we go back to scarred Chucky. I would love to bring back that look of him being a little bit more scary. I love the howdy doody good guy doll look, but it's been that way for a while, because Colt, it wasn't like that. So bringing him back to like a scarier look would be cool.
Was Colt the last time we saw the scarred Chucky?
I think it was Cursed,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because Colt, he's a different, well, I guess in Colt he had the head on the stake.
Yes, that's right.
But it wasn't the full effect of his whole body.
Moving on from living from the film, from living with Chucky your entire life, essentially, what's next for you as a filmmaker? I know FSU prepared you to tackle this film, but what's after this?
I am headed back into narrative filmmaking, which I'm excited for. In horror/horror fantasy is the world that I like to live in. So I'm currently writing my first feature. God knows when that will actually film, because indie filmmaking, you need money to make the movie,
right.
Which I learned on this one because I did it backwards and I filmed everything first. And then I was like, oh my God, you have to like pay people to color it and sound mix it and lawyers. So there's that. And then hopefully a few things that like short films in the meantime that I can work on and like get back into the narrative space before diving into my first feature would be awesome.
Very nice. Well, Kyra, congratulations on all the success with this film. It really is fascinating to dive into it. And, just realizing through watching this how long Chucky has been around, as a pop, an icon, a cult classic, so to speak. And it looks like it's showing no signs of slowing down. So definitely thank you for the time today and wish you the best moving forward.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for the interview.
Absolutely.